CodyMania is absolutely real. For the first time in what literally is forever, WWE fans have turned their back on The Rock, and it started in St. Louis. And there's been loud disagreements online about Cody versus Roman, Rock versus Roman, Cody versus Roman versus Rock. It's been everywhere. And a lot of people have been saying, oh, well, it's just the internet. Like, it doesn't translate to real life. It doesn't mean anything because internet people are trolls. Internet people just cry and complain. It's never going to translate to TV. And little did we know, this past Monday on Raw, St. Louis did the unthinkable, something we haven't genuinely heard in almost 30 years, is they were chanting, Rocky sucks.
I didn't think I was going to hear that one.
But how would St. Louis react if The Rock came out and was there? Because that's what's going to really matter is right now, crowds can boo all they want, but it's what is going to be the fans' reaction when The Rock is physically there. Are they still going to chant Rocky sucks? Are they still going to boo him? And it's already come out that WWE understood that there would be backlash, but they did not expect fans to be chanting Rocky sucks. And apparently there's reports that it doesn't bother The Rock, but it's definitely bothering WWE because they are in a big time predicament right now. WWE literally pulled a classic Vince McMahon booking right in front of our eyes. We are literally witnessing an online civil war between pro wrestling fans, and it's freaking crazy. From what I see and from what it feels like, the majority wants Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. There is a lot of people that also want The Rock versus Roman. I think, and I feel like, more people want Cody versus Roman. There's even a hashtag says, we want Cody, and then there was a hashtag to counter it saying, we want Rocky, and while there is a lot of the Rocky ones, it's so minuscule versus the Cody Rhodes ones. If you go on WWE's page, no matter what they post, it's We Want Cody. It's on The Rock's post, and it's even in The Rock's daughter's mentions, which is actually very unfortunate because apparently people are sending her death threats, and she actually deactivated her Twitter. That's not cool. If you are one of those people, you're a real-time loser. It's never that serious. But from my understanding, it's actually been locked in. That was part of The Rock's deal with signing on with TKO and being part of the board was apparently in the contract. The Rock is physically wrestling at WrestleMania some way, somehow. And apparently it's versus Roman. So I don't know what they're going to do with that because I don't think they expected the backlash that they're actually getting from all of this. But the good thing is that WWE is actually leaning into this. They're actually making it aware that they hear you. They know what's going on. And it's gotten to the point where I almost don't know what's true, what's not true, and what was actually planned. If you watched Monday Night Raw, there was We Want Cody signs everywhere. There was that hashtag everywhere. People are saying that WWE was handing them out, and then there's other people saying that somebody was just handing them out, which is two different things. Because if WWE is pushing it, then there's a storyline, and it's a work. From what I understand, if they knew that this was going to happen, what the hell is the plan? They have not given any ideas or leading us in any specific direction because I still think they're trying to figure out what to actually do for WrestleMania. And there's a lot of sources that said that this was all a plan. WWE planned this because they wanted to give Cody Rhodes the Daniel Bryan treatment. They wanted a movement, per se, for Cody Rhodes. I don't understand why they had to do it this way. Cody Rhodes doesn't need the Daniel Bryan treatment because it's already right there. Even to the point where if they do end up doing a triple threat between The Rock, Roman, and Cody, it still won't feel the same. Although, if they do manage to turn The Rock heel somehow, some way, and they can bring out Hollywood Rock, then sign me up. Because you'd have Cody Rhodes, who's the big-time babyface. You got the Tribal Chief, who's the ultimate heel in the company. And if you bring back an arrogant Dwayne The Rock Johnson, that would fit so well because people would legitimately hate him. And it would just work. I think that would do numbers. But unlike Daniel Bryan, where you could get away with a triple threat, I feel like they've built up Cody Rhodes so much and his story and his redemption arc and all that. I feel like the ultimate end game was Roman versus Cody at WrestleMania. And I think that's what a lot of people were expecting. That's what a lot of people wanted, myself included. Where I feel like if you do a triple threat, it kind of undermines everything and it kind of takes away from the intensity of both stories, of the Bloodline story and Cody Rhodes' story. And me personally, I think Cody Rhodes needs this main event more than Daniel Bryan did. And here's why. It's different because Daniel Bryan never was meant to be the guy in the company. He was never supposed to be the long-term WWE champion. And then they took the 6 months or however long it took and they built him back up, and the crowd really got into it, and the crowd was pushing for it. They got what they wanted. What's different with Cody Rhodes is clearly the guy. He's the top babyface in the company. They had those plans for Cody Rhodes. They did not have those plans for Daniel Bryan. And just like Daniel Bryan, his amazing story cultivated at WrestleMania 30. Whereas Cody's story, he had his main event, and then they teased the whole redemption arc the whole year, and teased Roman versus Cody 2 the entire year. Build him back up, get him to where he needs to go. He can have his redemption arc, face Roman at WrestleMania 40 like it's supposed to be. He even won the Rumble, pointed to Roman, said, I want you. So WWE was literally giving us what we wanted and then pulled a switcheroo right at the last second and said, here you go, Rock. You're in the main event now. Everybody's going to be okay with this, obviously, because they haven't just been invested for the last 2 years of this story. No build, no storyline, no nothing. And yeah, The Rock gave his little line on January 1st saying, should he be to the head of the table? But then you didn't hear from him again. And then they asked Roman about it, and he blew it off. He laughed it off like nothing. So there's been no build to it whatsoever. There's only 2 months until WrestleMania 40, and they're both part-timers. How much build are you really going to get in a 2-month period when both of them won't show up? They'll maybe show up 2 or 3 times before that. There's such a bigger and better story that you could do if you drag this out. Triple H has done very good at long-term booking. You can't tell me that a year build-up to a WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 41 for the head of the table, it's the biggest wrestling family, it means the most. You could make it almost bigger than the title itself. But instead, they were just like, nope, we got to do it now. We got to push this now. Let's just do it and just get it over with. Money, 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 like Mr. Krabs. Essentially what they're doing is they're throwing away a 2-year story with guys that made a shit ton of money for the company. So it's not like they need the money. They're throwing away a 2-year-long build, a 2-year-long story, and a 4-year-long story just for the one-night money-making match in The Rock versus Roman. It's just a slap in the face to fans that weren't invested in the story, invested in Cody Rhodes, invested in the bloodline, and invested in Roman Reigns. If Cody Rhodes wasn't advertised and teased to face off against Roman again, I wouldn't care. And I don't think anybody else would care. They would understand. Like, if The Rock came back and won the Rumble, while I think that wouldn't be the greatest thing, at least there is something established. And that's why this CodyMania thing is a real thing, because everybody's just pissed off like, what the fuck just happened? You could have set this up at any WrestleMania. You could have done it at 37, all the way to 39, and even 41. The right match, the absolute worst timing. That's what it really comes down to, is like, they've made WrestleMania 40 Cody's WrestleMania. There's no way about it. There's no way around it, is they built it up to be Roman versus Cody 2, where Cody finishes the story. 40 years of WrestleMania. Cody finally does what his dad couldn't do, a legendary Hall of Fame wrestler in Dusty Rhodes. It's like, it writes itself. I feel like every 10 years they try to do a nice, good story. To have it end with The Rock versus Roman, where Roman comes out on top, that's a good WrestleMania 39 ending. I don't know what you could do for 40, but I think that would be a much better ending. They've done it at 20. Sorry, Chris Benoit. They've done it at 30. Shout out to Daniel Bryan. And you could do it again at WrestleMania 40. It's just funny how everybody wanted this match, and now that we got it, nobody wants it because of just such how bad timing it is. Like, WrestleMania 40 is for Cody Rhodes. There's no way around it. Now, nothing's set in stone yet. We don't know much yet, in all honesty. At this press conference for WrestleMania in Las Vegas is going to tell us a lot, and then the following SmackDown the very next day is also going to tell us a lot with whatever Cody Rhodes does or whatever Cody Rhodes says, because he will be there on SmackDown, unlike Roman Reigns, unlike The Rock. So our questions will be answered very soon. But with all the backlash, all of the media attention, WWE is going to definitely milk this shit. Media outlets that don't even cover wrestling talking about this. My friends who don't watch wrestling are texting me like, dude, what the fuck is happening in wrestling right now? To the point where they're even interested. The Rock definitely brings all-time media buzz because of who he is. But the true fans, they want Cody. I think there's a bigger plan ahead. I think they have an idea of where they want to go. I trust that maybe this was all a plan beforehand, and there's just been some curveballs of where they didn't think they would turn on The Rock. But you can't sit here and tell me that this isn't an interesting time right now. This is an exciting time because nobody now knows what's happening. If you're going to sit here and tell me that you don't enjoy that in a certain type of way, you're lying, because every show is now must see. You know how many people are going to be watching this press conference to find out what's happening? And regardless, even though it's fun, I stand with CodyMania right now. Which is crazy for me to say, because you would think I would just take The Rock and be like, yep, The Rock, fuck you all. But no. I think it should be his night, regardless. So if they go a different route, they go Rock versus Roman, and then Cody does whatever. It is what it is. But let's say they do go a different route. What other matches would you really want to see Cody in? And I've watched videos about it of people suggesting what could Cody do. And I don't think there's anything more interesting than Cody versus Roman. I think everything else is very, very second place, or very just like... it takes the air out almost. Like, you're just like, okay, like, sure. I don't think there's another thing better than Cody versus Roman 2. But if they have plans where they want Roman to break Hogan's record, they want to keep Roman as champion as long as possible. If the plan is to make Cody lose, that's even worse. Imagine we do all this campaigning, all this stuff. WWE says, you know what, fine. You get Cody versus Roman. And then they pull another switcheroo, and Cody loses twice. How awful would that be? But comment below your thoughts and your opinions. I'm always interested to hear, and I'm always interested to chat. So we could always discuss this, but we have to just trust the process and trust and hope that they're cooking up something good. But my personal opinion, regardless of what happens, bring back Hollywood Rock. I miss arrogant The Rock. Not Dwayne Johnson. Bring back arrogant The Rock. And I'm telling you, more money will go your way. And I would like a check, please. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one. Shout out to CodyMania. Peace.